In the last AKC Novice video, we covered the stand for examination. The next one on the list would be the heel-free portion. However, this exercise is performed in the same manner as the heel on leash and figure eight that we covered about a month ago, just without the leash or the figure eight. In fact, the scoring and orders will be the same as well. So instead of working on that, we're going to be moving forward and working on the recall portion of the AKC Novice. As defined by the AKC, the principal features of this exercise are that the dog stay where left until called by the handler, and that the dog responds promptly to the handler's command or signal to come. At the start of this exercise, you will be standing with your dog sitting in proper heel position at the place designated by the judge. The judge will ask, "Are you ready?" Once you confirm that you're ready, you will then be ordered by the judge, "Leave your dog." As the handler, you may give a command and a signal, or just a signal to the dog to stay in the sit position. Alternatively, you can do what I like to do and simply leave your dog without saying anything at all. Be aware that your dog will receive a non-qualifying score, an NQ, if you give an additional command and or signal to stay. You'll also receive an NQ if your dog breaks the stay command before being called or signaled to come. You will then walk forward to the other end of the ring, turn and face your dog. You should be standing with your arms and hands hanging naturally. Once the judge signals you or tells you to call your dog, you will then give a physical or verbal command to come. Your dog must come directly to you at a brisk trot or gallop and sit straight and center. You will receive an NQ if your dog is not close enough that you can touch your dog's head without excessive bending, stretching, or moving either foot. And you can lose substantial points if you have to give your dog an additional command to sit once your dog gets to you, if your dog fails to remain sitting by either standing or laying down, fails to come at a brisk trot or gallop, or fails to sit in front. Once your dog is in the sit front position, you will then be told by the judge to finish. At this point, you will give your dog a command or signal to flip into the heel position, which is the finish. You can have your dog flip into heel position, or you can have your dog go around you into heel position. Either is okay as long as it's done without delay and the dog sits straight in heel. You can lose substantial points if you have to give your dog an extra command to finish, if your dog fails to remain sitting by standing or laying down, or fails to finish or sit in heel. And lastly, minor or substantial deductions will be made for slow or poor sits, for finishes that are not prompt or smart, if the dog touches you while coming in to the sit front position, or if your dog touches you while going into the heel position, and for sitting between your feet. In order to successfully complete this portion of the AKC Novice, your dog should know 4 different exercises. 1, your dog must understand the heel position. Your dog needs to know stay command. Your dog should be able to be called into the sit front position, and your dog should know a finish, whether it be a flip finish or a bye finish. Now, I've already made detailed videos on each of these topics, and if you want to see those as well, which I would highly recommend, check out the episode links in the description of this video. Now that we know what's required, let's start training. Come. I'm going to be doing today's video slightly different than normal. I want to give everyone the opportunity to see how a training session looks without me explaining each step as I train. I thought this would give you a more realistic example of what one of my training sessions may look like. Also, keep in mind that this is considered advanced training. If you want to see all the steps to get to this point, watch the videos in the description of this episode. Now, if you noticed, I started with my dog in the sit front position. The reason for this is that I like to break it down to a format that makes it easy for the dog to learn what I'm trying to teach. Since this exercise requires a nice sit front, I like to start with the recall exercise from up close and gradually add more distance to make the picture as clear as possible for the dog I'm training. Yes. Sit. You may have noticed before stepping back, I repeated the sit command. I do that instead of saying stay, and the reason for this is when I teach a dog stay, I don't say stay. If I put a dog into a commanded position, the stay is implied. So if I tell a dog down and they go into the down position, they are now in a down stay. Same thing with the sit. If I say sit, that's letting the dog know they are in a sit stay. Just giving my dog a little bit of feedback before continuing on with the exercise. Come. Yes. Very nice, Ari. Sit. Come. If I notice that the dog is starting to come in slightly crooked, I'll step back as part of the physical cue to get my dog to come in as straight as possible. If you remember from my How to Teach Your Dog to Come When Called episode, the physical cue for the recall command is to back up and lure the dog into the perfect sit front position. This is a version of what's known as fading. This means that we are presenting the physical cue but with less movement each time until the cue is no longer needed. Yes. Back. Break. I was hoping that the back command would get her to walk straight back to the start point, but she was going off a little bit to the side, so I released her with my release word, which is break, and it's a release word because it doesn't predict a reward. It simply releases the dog from whatever exercise I have them in or position I have them in. And now I'm just going to bring her back into the starting position and do a couple more reps. Sit. Come. Yes, very nice. Sit. Come. On the last recall, when she sat in the sit front position, she was crooked. So I simply took a step back to help her straighten out. Yes. Excellent. Break. Sit. Come. Yes. Excellent. Sit. Come. Yes. Bye. Yes. Since she came in nice and straight on that last recall, I didn't have to make any adjustments. Then when I called her into heel, I used the bye finish instead of the flip finish. I went with the bye finish because she has a tendency to bump into me more when I ask her to perform the flip finish. I also helped her with a slight cue with my right hand, and I used a little bit of luring with my left hand to help make sure she was nice and straight. Sit. Wrong. Sit. Right there, she went into the down position instead of staying in the sit. When she made the mistake, I said wrong, which means stop what you're doing or go back into the previous position. We do this by using leash pressure after we say wrong to show the dog what we would like them to do instead. In this situation, I'm basically treating the word wrong or that marker as a non-reinforcement marker, which lets the dog know that they made a mistake, but they could try again. Come. Yes. Sit. Come. Yes. Bye. Yes. Sit. When I step out of the heel position and I want the dog to stay, I will either say sit or I'll say nothing at all. Also notice that I stepped with my right foot. I do that to give the dog one more additional cue that I want them to stay in that position. If I wanted the dog to step with me, I would say heel before I step, and I would step off with my left foot instead. Come. Bye. Very nice, Ari. Excellent work. Come on, baby. Very good. Yes. Sit. Yes. Yes. Very good. When working with your dog, make sure you're not pattern training too much. I started to notice that I was calling her to me every time, so this time, instead of the recall, I marked her staying with yes, and then I gave her a reward. This will help prevent her from anticipating the recall and coming to me before I call her. Come. Bye. Free. Very nice, Ari. That's my good girl. And that's it. A nice, short, and fun session. Always remember to end your training on a good note and when your dog is still having fun. Don't make the mistake of training for too long, which could make the session boring and would cause your dog to lose interest. Stick around if you want to watch this session without the commentary. Come. Yes. Sit. Come. Yes. Very nice, Ari. Sit. Come. Yes. Back. Break. Sit. Come. Yes. Very nice. Sit. Come. Yes. Excellent. Break. Sit. Come. Yes. Excellent. Sit. Come. Yes. Bye. Yes. Sit. Wrong. Sit. Come. Yes. Sit. Come. Yes. Bye. Yes. Sit. Come. Bye. Free. Very nice, Ari. Excellent work. Come on, baby. Very good. Yes. Sit. Yes. Sit. Yes. Very good.
Come. Bye. Free. Very nice, Ari. That's my good girl.
Thanks again for watching, and I hope everyone enjoyed today's episode. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. If you want one-on-one help, I do offer Zoom training sessions. If you want to support the channel, you can by liking, subscribing, or becoming a Patreon. And lastly, people often ask what products I like to use with my own dogs, including treats and food. If that's something you're interested in, I do have a page on my website with all that information. The links will be provided in the description below. Thank you again, and I will see everyone in next week's video.